Hello there, my name is Chris McCarthy and I am with FactoryWebSource.com, and in today's video tutorial I'm going to show you how you go about editing your Contact Us page. Now the Contact Us page is one of the default pages that we've added to the website for you. So everything on here is editable by you. You can go in here and edit any of the images, any of the content that's on this page, or you can add as many new rows and as much content as you would like to this page. Today I'm using theme number 1, so what I'm going to walk you through is how to go about editing the existing rows that are on this page. So first off, right here on the top we have a image row with a background image, a main title, and a subtitle that's right here. I'm going to show you how to edit that. Then down below there we have an existing form on here which we've added in here by default with some fields for first and last name, phone number, email address, business name, service, and then also project details. So basically on this tutorial, I'm not going to go over how to go about editing this form, but I will show you how you add it to this page. There's a separate tutorial on how to create and edit your forms that you can view on our tutorial section. Below that, we have a Contact Us row that has your phone number and an email address and then a map, and I'm going to show you how you go about editing this row to add your phone number, your address, and then your map as well. So first off, log into your control panel, and then over here on the left, click on Pages. So under the Pages page, we are going to be looking for Contact Us, so go ahead and click on that. And now it's going to bring you to the content editor window. So for this page, what we've done is we're utilizing a drag and drop visual page builder. So you're able to see exactly what each of these rows is on your website, and then the content that's in each of those rows, or the elements that are that is included in each of the rows. So the first one you see right here on top is this background image with the main title and the subtitle. So that's the first row you see right here. So this is the row. If you want to edit the row, you click on the pencil icon. It's going to bring up the row settings panel. And there's some settings under here that you can kind of play around with and see what they do. You can disable the row. You can change up the content position, the height of the row. What I want to talk about really quickly here is how you go about editing the background color or the background image. So go ahead and click on Design Options. And what you're going to see over here is some selections to change the background color and then also the background image. We've loaded an image in here already by default, but if you want to go ahead and change that image, you'd simply click on this green plus icon, which opens your media library. Now, if you've already loaded an image into your media library, you simply click on that image. However, if not, you can go ahead and click on Upload Files and either drag and drop an image into this area, or you can click on Select Files and then upload an image or photo from your computer. If you've already loaded it in, you'd go back to Media Library, simply select the image you want. Once that's selected, it's going to display it over here on the right, and then simply click on Set Image. That's changing out the image that's right here. Once that's changed out, click on Save Changes. So what that basically has done now is it's changed the background image for this row. So if I was to update the page, it's going to change or update those settings. Now when I go back to the website, and I go ahead and refresh this page or this browser, you're going to see that now there's a new background image here on the header area. Next thing I'm going to show you is how you edit the main heading and the subheading. So back over here into the control panel, the one element that's included in this row is this heading element. So if you hover over this and click on the pencil icon, it's going to bring up the heading settings panel. So from here, you can change out the title, and here is the subtitle. There's also some additional settings down here for alignment, separator, and tags. If you want to edit the font size, style, and color, you click on typography. Right here are the font settings for the main heading, and then down here below are the font settings for the subheading. So you have your font style, the font size, and then the color. And then there's also a settings panel for some margins on those headings as well. Once you've made the adjustments and you're happy with your settings, go ahead and click on Save Changes. So that's how you go about adding or editing that main first row on there. If you wanted to add an additional element to this row, just click on the plus button. It's going to bring up the Add Element panel, which there are several different types of elements you can simply add to this row. By clicking on them, it's going to add it to the row, and then you can edit them just like you would with this heading. Next thing I'm going to talk about, or the next row, is the form row. So as you're scrolling down here on the page, the next row you see is the form row. So over here, first off on the row, we've added a slightly gray background to this. If you wanted to edit this, you can click on the pencil icon, just like the row up before, click on Design Options, and if we wanted to switch this off and say make this black, we can go ahead and click on Save Changes, and then go ahead and update this page. Now I've changed the background for this row to black. And if I go back to the website again, let's refresh the browser one more time here. And what it's going to do, it's going to make the background of this row black. Switching it back now really quickly, edit again, design options, switch up the color back to that gray, save those changes. It's going to save that color back to the way it was. Now within this row is the gravity forms element. So this is the actual form. As I mentioned, I'm not going to go over how you go about editing the actual form structure. That's in a separate tutorial, and that's going to be included over here in the Forms tab on the left. But to go ahead and add the gravity forms, all you do is you click on the plus button and you look for the element that is gravity forms, which is right here. You'd go ahead and click on that. It's going to open up the gravity form setting, and then all you do is select the form that you want to include, save those changes, and it's going to add that in there. Now, if you want to delete any of these rows or any of the content or elements that are in the row, simply click on this trash can icon. It's going to ask you if you want to delete it. Go ahead and do that. It's going to delete that. Always save your changes to make them take effect. If there's something you want to duplicate, so if we want to duplicate this gravity form or you want to duplicate this row, all you do is click on the duplicate icon, which is right here. It's going to duplicate that, and once again, now you have an exact duplicate of that element or row. Deleting this really quickly. So then lastly on this page, as you scroll down, you're going to see that we have a Contact Us row down here at the bottom, which includes your phone number, address, and a map. So back over here into the control panel, you're going to see that we have a row right here, which is just like the rows up here. This is a single column row. If you wanted to make multiple column rows, you just select on here. You can make it a 2-column row, or you can go ahead and switch it back to a 1-column row. But if you make it a 2-column, then you can add different elements over here into this panel simply by clicking on the plus button and adding in more elements. Switching this back to a single column row. So we have a heading in here with the Contact Us heading. So clicking on that pencil icon, once again, brings that up. There's Contact Us, and I can edit the typography right here. So change up the font styles, and everything right there. And then the next one we've added a heading row in here for the phone number. So a separate one where we've added the phone number and then as the main heading, and then the address as the subheading. So under typography, again, you can change out the font settings for the main heading and then also the subheading. Closing that out. The last row down here is that Google Maps row. So we created a separate row for this, which is also editable. And then we've added a Google Maps element. So if we wanted to add that Google Maps element again, I'll just show you really quickly. Clicking on that plus icon, you can actually search for items in here. So typing in Google Maps, click on that. It's going to add that row in there. So now I've actually created another Google Maps row in there. If I want to delete it, go ahead and delete it. Settings for this Google map, go ahead and click on that pencil icon. It's going to bring up the Google Maps setting. And basically what you're going to want to do for here, you can set the height to standard, or you can actually set a pixel number in there. You can animate it. But right here is the actual map embed iframe code. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to visit google.com, go to Maps, and once you're there, you're going to be able to type in your address. When you type in your address, then what you're going to end up doing is there's going to be a share button, and you are able to get the code directly from there. So that's basically how you go about editing the Contact Us page on your Factory Web Source theme. If you have any other questions, just click on the support tab that's located over here in the left of the control panel, and we'd be happy to help.